Our next segment features your private collection art gallery. This is an exciting art gallery featuring the art of over 30 Texas artists. Stacey Watkins, owner and featured artist, uses mixed mediums of fused glass, metal painting, resin to create her works of fantasy. Per Southern Living magazine, this new medium is a must-see. In our art shows, you will also view the gallery's many other top artists creating their original one-of-a-kind artworks. Artists like Aaron Tate's Blown Glass, metal artist Terry Jones, one of U.S.'s top watercolorists, Soon Young Warren, Woman of the West artist Sharon Marquardt, and Polly Giselle and her hand-carved glass.
Hi, I'm Stacey Watkins from Your Private Collection Art Gallery, and today I'm going to show you how to do an angel. Maybe not this ornate, but I'm going to walk you through the steps that I take to make an angel that glows in the dark and that is metal and resin together. This one right here is pretty ornate in how it's cut out. And we won't go to that extent today, but what I'd like to show you is just step by step on what I do, so maybe one day I'll see other artists out there doing it too. You can find whatever you like. I chose this piece of metal that I just got out of the junkyard, and it's, as you can see, a piece of junk, but it used to be in part of somebody's, I don't know what this was, but it used to be part of something important, I'm sure. But I found it in the junkyard, and what I see here is an angel and her torso being up here, an arm probably coming out here. So we're going to take the plasma cutter and do some cuts maybe around here just to eliminate this part, and that way, actually one day I'll probably use both sides for two angels. So let me get started. I use a pretty old plasma cutter, but it does the trick, and I really love my plasma cutter. It just eliminates a lot of time that I would normally have to spend using a torch, and it gives you a better cut. This is what you call a ground, and you always want to be grounded to your metal to get a good cut, and for a plasma cutter. And always use protective glasses. I'm not going to use anything to put it down to the table because it's lifted up enough where I can get to it. That part out too. Okay, now what I'm left with, as you can see, is what I would consider is a torso and a flowing angel. And I'll use this part as an arm going into the piece. But I'm next going to cut out some wings for my angel. I'm using cold rolled steel for that. And I'll dress the cold rolled steel up a bit after I get finished so it doesn't look like a plain piece of cold rolled steel. It actually looks like it has some age to it. What I like to do is do a cut out and then cut out the other wings, since both sides you kind of want them a bit symmetrical. So I'll do a transfer with a wax pencil or a piece of chalk, just coming around. So I'll have at least, you know, the same symmetrical wing on both sides. You can edit that part too. And you can edit this part too. I'm waiting for it to cool. I'm just going to make the wings with feathers and have a little bit more character here. You should wear gloves with this. I usually don't because I like to have full motion in my hands. So now, as you can see, we have wings for our angel. And, you know, they don't have to be perfect. You might want to make them perfect, but what I'm trying to interpret is an angel, and this will get the trick done. So take them in to the other room, and I'll show you what you can do with them as far as building them up with resin and making a full piece like this one. What I've done with this little piece of metal is manipulated it into more of an angel form. You can, you know, do your piece any way you want to, but I see this as her arm and torso and a flowing dress. So I'm going to lay it down here, and with my pieces, what I do is I layer a lot, and so I pre-make a lot of my art with pieces that are poured at another time, like this. And all this is the resin mixed up, and you do 2 parts. I use crystal clear, which is a 202 from Reynolds, and I use a lot of phosphorescent pigments that you put into your resin to make it glow in the dark, and a lot of micas, and that's what this gold part is, and that's pure mica pigment. And I've pre-made a lot of the background already for this particular angel, and what I'm going to do is just set it in back of her. And I'm not going to pour the clear on top today, but I'm going to show you how I set up my angels beforehand. Because whenever you pour, you want to make sure you have a really good clean area to pour in. This is what I poured yesterday, and it's these pieces right here. And it did used to be clean until I started pulling these, and you don't want a lot of the scraps from that hanging around when you pour your final piece. But I'll show you the steps and tell how I get there. Like I said, you don't have to have a perfect wing, because what you're going to do is enhance your wings and your piece with your resin or your paint or whatever you want to incorporate into the artwork that you're making, and the crystal clear or the resin allows you to do that. So I'm just going to make it where I have her give the wing a little bit of depth here for 3D, three-dimensional, and bring it out. And then I'm going to place it behind her arm, right here. First I'm going to put the background. And like I said, make sure you have a clean area. This is not going to be clean because she's given off a lot of scrap from her old, rusty piece of metal cell. So we're going to make this angel look really angelic. And we're going to bring her onto some gold. Kind of give her a background here. And if you don't have enough pieces, you can always pour some more and layer up from there. Since this is just going to be a background, I am going to layer and give the angel more depth and more three-dimensional look flowing upward at a later date. But this right here is actually going to glow bright red. And I'm going to put that kind of in the middle of her to give her some fire behind her. Like she's coming in from a really hectic, or give her some, well, you can edit all that out. I sometimes ramble, so just, you know. This might take me a minute to get this how I want it. Okay, these are all my pre-made pieces, as you can see. And what I'm going to do after this is I will put a clear coat on top. I'm going to add her wings. And I'm going to decorate her wings at a later time with gold around them and enhance them. But this is just to kind of show you the process of what she's going to look like. Now I will have to make her head. And that you'll see after the finished piece is all completed. But this right here gives you an idea of what she is going to basically look like. I'm going to add some stars that I've already pre-cut. And what these will do is they won't glow in the dark, but all around them will. She won't glow in the dark, but all around her will. And it really creates a beautiful effect in the daytime and at night. So, and whenever we're completed, you'll see the finished product, and it'll be a beautiful one. So that's the steps that I go through, and hopefully you'll come and see us at your private collection art gallery.